It is so late right now, and I don't know if it's because of that I'm just like deliriously giggling at tons of things at the moment, but I just spent the last like 30 to 40 minutes in the wackiest rabbit hole I've been in quite some time. It's videos of people hurting themselves on punching bag machines. Now, before anyone gets the wrong idea, I'm not talking about like catastrophic life-changing injuries that's gonna have someone in a full body cast like that guy from SpongeBob or anything. But I actually had a friend of mine break his thumb punching one of those, and I just assumed that is probably like the first of its kind. Like he just made big oops-a-daisy, and it's a rare occurrence. But after watching dozens of these videos, I almost feel like it's more rare to walk away unscathed. So I've got to show you some of these. Like, I know this is the kind of thing that your dad would send you in an email back in the early 2000s, like, hey, check this shit out. Can you believe this? But I guess I'm just at that age now. I'm gonna go ahead and start with one that looks really gnarly. Like, it looks like Tyreek Hill's injury here, but I'm pretty sure the lady was okay based on what I read there. But something that I noticed was extremely common is people throwing a punch and completely losing their balance and ending up in like a Peter Griffin death pose. It is shocking how many videos of that I've seen. This one is probably the epitome of that. In the pursuit of glory, no sacrifice is too great. R.I.P. to the old knees there. The camera cut away before you could see her high score. That definitely went 999 plus ultra. That shit probably blew up the fucking screen with how hard it was clobbered there. But my god, like, throwing a punch is something everyone thinks they can do until they actually try and throw like a full body, full force punch. Everyone just assumes it's like natural, but then you'll watch these videos and realize, no, there's like an art to it. Like it's something that you think you can do because you'll like shadow box in the mirror and shit. But then the second you step up to like, the old equalizer here, all of that goes out the window when you're trying to throw something with like the most force you can muster, and everyone like fucking Popeye the Sailor Man's it. It's wild to me. And that right there is another thing I saw a lot of. People like going for the Happy Gilmore approach and they just like ragdoll themselves at the machine. So that didn't even feel like a punch. She went for like a Superman flying away type motion, like one of these. And then she just fucking like potato sacks herself past the machine. I'm spitting everywhere, but like I've actually been giggling about this shit, man. It's crazy. Like I know I've entered unk status. That's how I know for sure. Because now I'm over here laughing hard at this shit. But like, it's just so fascinating to me. Like the biomechanics are just something that feels so primal. Like it should be deeply embedded in like the DNA of human beings to know how to like come up there and like throw a punch. That's like the first thing that we did as cavemen, I imagine, is start punching things. And yet, over the many, many, many years, it's become less of a necessity. And now you have situations like this arising where when trying to throw a powerful punch, someone will just go for like a fucking cross body blocker. Look like Markiplier from that gif where he like jumps at his phone like this.
It got real serious.
I accidentally recorded my own audio in there, so you heard my goofy ass laugh come in briefly after watching this for like the fucking 10th time. Everything that could go wrong did go wrong there. Now, she didn't use the machine in its intended way. Mess around with the machine at your own peril. You should be stepping up there taking it very seriously, because Jesus Christ, it looks like it could be life or death. Like that fall right there, that like could have been bad. So like she goes for this crazy like, big high kick, and then she gets airborne and her flip-flop flies off and blasts the back wall, and then she can just like instantly hits the deck with no like stopping herself at all. Like she didn't have her arm out to stop herself, which probably ended up for the best, because maybe that would have been worse, like breaking the wrist or something. But like she could have easily like landed on her head or something. But man, that was a crazy high kick on the punching bag. It's a shame that we didn't get to see the force that was put on there. I didn't get to see the score that she was able to accumulate off that blow. This is also something I saw extremely often. People missing the bag entirely and just hitting the machine itself. Now, I'm not showing you every single one of them I've watched. I'm just showing you like what I consider to be the best representation of the common trends I saw at the punching bag machine. So people like just completely missing it or swinging fully through and just hitting the machine and like hurting themselves. This guy though, that was an absolute fucking wallop that he delivered to the machine. I'm very impressed with the plexiglass that it didn't just evaporate. Like, that was actually a really strong punch there. And even he was concerned. He started like throwing his arms out like, "Oh, are you okay?" as he fell over. Now, some of these I couldn't find with original audio, only like meme songs and meme sound effects, which, PSA, that shit just makes it worse. There has never been a single video I've watched that I think was elevated by the TikTok meme song of the week or like meme sound effects. Like just the original audio is so much better. But anyway, that right there is something there's a lot of, where people go up to the punching bags and end up hitting themselves. And like, I don't know how that's possible. I guess they start their punch so far back and then they like bring it forward and hit themselves. That happened a few times. And I know you think I'm exaggerating with that one because at least for me that was the most unbelievable one, like punching yourself while doing this. But let me just show you a few cuz like I said, it was very common. The one where the guy throws the punch and then Beyblades himself, that one had me howling. That was incredible. I think there's a small chance that that was just a little theatrical performance there because I genuinely don't know how that's possible. Like he almost does like a ballerina pirouette there. Like I don't know. It's based on how many people I've seen hurt themselves on this punching machine. I think it's very likely legitimate. Now, I don't want to blabber about this too long, but I will show you the one that actually started this rabbit hole. And it wasn't one I was laughing at, actually. It was one where I felt really, really bad for the lady in it, because I do think she probably did hurt herself, despite what I read in the comments. I think she probably did end up injuring herself. I don't know how she wouldn't, after how her ankle bends here. I won't replay it or anything for you. It actually does seem pretty gruesome. It bends under her and then bends out to the side with her whole weight on top of it, and she like grabs it clearly in pain. So I do think she probably did get an injury there. Like that seems like it could have been a broken ankle. But I read in the comments that apparently she was just trying to like ham it up and be silly for the camera and like the audience that she had there, but I don't know, man. I don't know how you act that. Like, unless she has the most flexible ankles on earth, like it's just made out of jello or something. But yeah, anyway, that was the one that started me down this rabbit hole, and it was one where I like actually just felt horrible for the person, and it just had me curious, like how often does this happen on punching machines? The answer was very often. So yeah, I guess warning to everyone out there about to use a punching machine. Really think it through. Like, think about the biomechanics of throwing a punch so you don't end up hurting yourself. And I'd say definitely don't try and, like, go for a home run. Maybe just be satisfied with, like, a mid 5 to 600 power on the machine. You don't need to go for the 999. It's not going to guarantee you that you get laid or something like that. So maybe it's just not worth the risk where you end up blowing out your fucking knee, your ankle, your ACL, your DVD, your BBL, your VHS. Like, it's probably just not worth the injury. Unless you know how to throw a punch. And in that case, hey, go hog wild. Or if you don't know how to throw a punch and still want to go hog wild, I'm not your fucking dad. You do what you want. Anyway, I've been giggling about quite a few of these for a while, and I just had to yap about it. That's it. See ya. I've seen some bad ideas. I've had some bad ideas. I've had some really bad ideas. For example, probably one of my favorite terrible ideas that I cooked up is where I wanted to test body armor by shooting myself in the chest while wearing it to see how much it hurts. Obviously, I recognize why that's a horrible idea, but you can't convince me it would be a horrible video. I think that would be a slapper. I think it would just be a full-blown red alert DEF CON banger for sure. But, point is, I've had bad ideas and I have seen innumerable horrible stinkers, especially from the likes of Ubisoft, who have become kind of like the Michael Jordan of bad ideas. That entire office, all of their headquarters, this entire company has basically become like Willy Wonka's factory for churning out dumb dog shit brain dead ideas instead of candy. And yet, what I'm about to talk about today is not a Ubisoft original. It actually comes from Meta. They have just announced what I believe to be the stupidest possible platform ever that will likely not be used by a single living, breathing, sentient human being on this planet, at least not on purpose. Let me introduce you to Vibes, a fully AI platform designed to share and create AI short-form videos. I just learned about this from Dolan Dark, who covered it. I had no idea. It feels like they made this announcement like whispered under their breath, because I haven't seen anyone even shoot spitballs at it. No one's even giving it the time of day to insult it. That's how under the radar it has flown. They have to know that no one wants this. Like, even people that don't mind AI content, I can't imagine being excited about this. There's just people that tolerate AI slop on TikTok and YouTube Shorts because it's become inundated with it now. It's like impossible to avoid. But I don't think even those people that can stomach that are going to be all gung-ho about going to a platform that is nothing but AI videos. That is a platform I can only see being used by bots. Just bots creating and sharing videos back and forth until the fucking heat death of the universe claims all our souls.
Well, Meta has announced a new feature on their app called Vibes, which is basically TikTok, except the content is entirely AI generated. As if scrolling TikTok wasn't brain-numbing enough, now you can do fully AI generated.
For the longest time, I thought considering yourself a professional Redditor, like a Reddit content creator, was the most pathetic title you could ever give yourself online. But I think if there's ever a point where someone unironically refers to themselves as a Vibes content creator or like a Vibes influencer, that should actually be grounds for some criminal charges, because that cringe is just illegal. There would be nothing more pathetic at all. I actually couldn't think of anything. You could come out and talk about being like a scat fetishist cuck or something, and I would still think there's more dignity in that than being a Vibes content creator. Anyone who even uses this platform, I think, should be shamed. It's so trash. There is no purpose to it. I cannot even picture what the person would look like that would be interested in a platform like this. Like, maybe some kind of like out-of-touch marketing octogenarian who thinks this is like a good way to promote a product or a brand, so they'd be like dumping endless advertisements on there. But I don't think there's anyone there that wants to consume that. Like, I don't think there is an audience for it at all. You're just putting it out to bots. Because bots will no doubt use this. It'll be nothing but bots. This is exactly what that shit would be utilized for bots to endlessly fart out just AI content. But as far as like an actual platform people would use, there is no value here. There is nothing at all to gain from it. Not even slightly. And I know, and Dolan Darkest also talks about it, that Shorts and TikTok have become just completely ravaged by AI content now, just out the wazoo. Like, some of the most viewed videos on YouTube are just AI YouTube Shorts, which aren't even really being consumed by people. It's just bots also watching it.
Short. Some of the most viewed shorts being this nonsense where a cat's watermelon car is crushed by a female transformer. And then this one with 50 million views with two fat people sitting in the mud and a train's behind them. And that's it. And the baby gets up and starts running and there's a watermelon there for some reason. And despite it having 50 million views, it has about 30 comments, and this is what the comments say. This video is really helpful. This deserves recognition. Bunch of emojis, and then this tutorial is very impressive. I did not expect it to be this good.
Yeah, you know that short was a turbo hit. Just look at the comments going ballistic for the big old man milkers running from a train with that woman and her baby joining along for the ride. They love it. This video is really helpful. This deserves recognition. I love cat. There wasn't a cat in the video, but they're just making a bold statement. They're not afraid to tell it like it is. They love cat, goddammit. What are you gonna do about it? Big whoop. You wanna fight? And then, of course, the one Dolan Darkest also mentions about the tutorial, which this is not a tutorial. It's clearly bots. It's not people watching this. It's just bots. And Dolan Darkest also went to that channel, and they have like actually 50 different variants of that exact same AI video. Just with like the different ethnicities as well as like different trains. It's such a mess. So now it's an entire platform of that. Who is going to watch it besides just bots who also aren't watching it, obviously? It's a waste. Meta is so out of touch, it's laughable. But here, you know what? Maybe I'm just a big old sourpuss here who can't see the vision. Here's the key takeaways. This was the first step towards a new way to discover, create, and share AI videos, which everyone has been begging for new ways of being able to discover AI videos. It's hard to find them these days. You don't know where to look. They're just so hidden, and there's so few of them. So this is a really great service. We're rolling out Vibes, a new feed of AI videos at the center of the Meta AI app. You can bring your ideas to life with new AI visual creation tools or remix an existing video by adding music. So I already love that they're encouraging, just go ahead and steal other people's videos because, I mean, it's AI. They don't even own anything anyway. They didn't actually create anything. So why don't you just take that video and add some different music to it? Or, like, maybe put it through a Studio Ghibli filter. Like, there's so many different options to remix that video. It's so good. They're just immediately just encouraging that shit. Vultures. Parasites. Anyway, though, they're rolling it out. I really like the images they show here for this little section. Good morning, Alex. Create an image of tiny treehouse for squirrels in the forest. Restyle my photo as cyberpunk. Create a video of a dog playing jazz. Holy shit, that's a game changer. This guy's a visionary. AI is giving this genius the tools to bring out-of-the-box ideas to life, like a dog playing jazz? What? I've never even heard of something like that before. This is crazy. This guy's going places. He's able to see things that no other man can see, and AI is allowing him to share this creative vision with all of us, from inspiration to creation, just as advertised. Holy shit, thank you, Vibes. Yeah, I didn't mean it as an exaggeration. I really think this is the worst possible idea for a platform. It is a platform that will actually probably break records for being the only website or the only app that has 0 users. Like, actually 0 downloads. It will entirely just be bots. It's so fucking stupid. Like, Jesus Christ, Rate My Poo from the early 2000s was a more valuable and better platform than Vibes. And that was a site dedicated entirely to strangers rating pictures of people's shits and toilet bowls. Like, somehow that has more use and value than Vibes. It is so sickening. It is gross. It is despicable how stupid Vibes is. It actually makes me upset that this would not only just be an idea, but something they're actually going through with. Anyway, that's about it. See ya. This is far from a new phenomenon, but it's just extremely common where people will immediately pass judgment on something based purely on just what the headline says. If it's only 10 words, that's the only 10 words they need to see in order for them to form their full opinion on it without knowing even a single iota of detail around it. And today, a buddy of mine sent me this. And before I read the headline, I thought that picture there was just McLovin playing a new character or something. Then I read the headline, Pet owner forced driver who killed his dog to dig dog's grave at gunpoint. I should shoot for it. And my friend sent this to me saying that it is sad that this guy is about to go to the slammer for a long time for this, most likely. Basically just sympathizing and saying that, pets are members of the family, so his reaction is, understandable. Hopefully he doesn't, have his whole life ruined because of this negligent driver who hit and killed his dog. It's entirely, the driver's fault. And I have dogs. I love dogs. I've grown up with pets my whole life. I do treat them like members of the family. So it's easy to see a headline like this and get emotionally invested in it. And I saw a lot of YouTubers and stuff commented on it saying, based, he's done nothing wrong. Free this man right now. This is super rational and justifiable. So naturally I did what I thought was normal as the next step, reading the story. Because I thought with so many people commenting on it with such strong condemnation of the driver and support for Alberto Joshua Hernandez, this must be a pretty clear, open and shut case of the driver being fully in the wrong here. This guy must have just been like a lunatic flying down the road. He ramps himself off of a parked tow truck, Dukes of Hazzard style, and just flies in like a fucking missile and blasts this man's beloved pet on the sidewalk. But that's not the case at all. It's extremely clear after learning more about what actually happened here that everyone who's commented showing support for Alberto didn't bother to read beyond the headline, because this guy's a fucking psychopath.
Police documents say that he forced the victim to dig a grave, withdraw money from an ATM to compensate him, and reveal a home address. Now, according to an arrest document obtained by our team here at KLTV and KTRE through an open records request, the victim went to police station for a voluntary interview.
Not going to play too much from like the news coverage of it because, again, I recently just had a big hoopla for showing a news clip. So I'll just show this very brief section. But the driver had been driving home. He had hit the animal. He then pulled over, and he then like even tried to like fix his bumper, but after hitting the animal, he stopped, he pulled over, and pretty soon after, that's when Alberto arrived in his truck, which leads me to believe the dog was not leashed or anything. It doesn't seem like he was walking the dog and it got away from him or anything. Like, that's not how it reads here. It seems like the dog was completely unattended, just roaming free on the road willy-nilly. Alberto arrived pretty soon after the hit, it seems, and pulls the gun on the driver and then orders him to carry the dog's body to his backyard. He takes his phone and everything, his keys, so that way there's no chance for him to like escape or wiggle his way out of it. He then digs that grave. Alberto goes inside, grabs another gun, and then forces the driver to take both of them to an ATM to withdraw money to compensate for the dog. Alberto, after receiving the money from the driver after going to the ATM, then takes a picture of his driver's license and warns him that he might be hearing from him again for more compensation if he feels it wasn't enough. And then the driver goes to the police, and that brings us to this story. So, here's a nice little, like, write-up on it, the bullet points here from a Twitter user who broke it all down. To me, this sounds like a guy who found a convenient excuse to rob somebody. I don't see how anyone could make a sound argument that his robbing the guy and then threatening to rob him at a later date after getting all of his information is in line with like a justifiable response to what seems to be purely an accident, where a dog that was not attended by Alberto or Alberto's mother, completely off-leash on its own, running out in the road. Like, I don't see how anyone could say that Alberto's reaction to that is rational. He's either a dog shit pet owner who just lets his animals roam around freely, or the dog unfortunately got out from the backyard or the front door or something and then ran off unattended into the road. And that kind of thing fucking sucks, but it is an accident. It doesn't sound like the driver is doing anything like malicious or evil. It's not like the driver just drove off after hitting the dog like he didn't have a care in the world. He just puts it pedal to the metal like, yeah, celebrating, I just killed that dog, 2 thumbs up, whoopee, or anything like that. The driver did pull over. After hitting the animal, he pulled over, he got out, apparently even tinkered with his bumper. And then, I do think the timing is interesting, how Alberto just happens to pull up at the scene here, pretty soon after the animal got hit. That's so odd to me. Now, another person that happened to arrive at the scene was the mother. According to the news report, the mom also arrived there and witnessed her son with the AR.
The two then drove back, and the affidavit goes on to say that the victim's mother had come to the scene and parked near the victim's vehicle. She saw Hernandez with his rifle, according to documents. Police say that the video from the ATM shows the victim withdrawing the money and then handing it to a passenger who was holding a gun.
Something seems very fishy here to me. Now, it seems like they were still close to the residence here, considering that the driver was ordered to carry the dog back, so that leads me to believe he walked the dog's body to the house. So, if that's the case, why is Alberto just hanging out in the truck watching the dog run around freely? It'd be crazy timing, a crazy coinkydink if he just happened to pull up right after the dog got hit near the house. There's just something about the timing in all of this and the way that he handled it after the fact, where he literally robs the fucking guy at gunpoint and then threatens to come back at a later date to take more money, that just paints a very different picture than a dog owner who's just overcome with like grief and trauma after his dog got hit, that he now pulls a gun and asks the guy to dig a grave. It's very different when you get the whole scope of what actually happened here. And you know what? I'm just going to let it rip. I'm going to be honest and say what I thought when I finished learning about all of this. It almost sounds like it was a setup. It almost sounds like this was by design here. That Alberto would let the dog run around freely here, staying close by, so that way if someone did hit the animal, it makes it very easy for them to kind of swoop in and immediately capitalize off of the person who's probably already shaken up about hitting a fucking dog, and then put a gun in their face and start demanding money, this and that. Like, I think there is definitely that possibility. I'm going to be honest. That's how it kind of read to me after I learned more about how this happened after the headlines painted as this dog owner pulled a gun after this traumatic incident. It's definitely a little different once you hear more about it. But the crazy thing is, even the people that do get the full context, because I saw, like, even that comment there that broke it all down, people under that were like, he's definitely in the right, doing the clapping emoji. Ah, so he's innocent. Good. People just so willing to excuse kidnapping, robbery at gunpoint, and the threat of more robberies in the future, all because, at best, this was an accident where the dog got away and unfortunately ran out in the middle of the road that a driver couldn't stop in time and unfortunately hit. But again, there's no evidence to suggest the driver was doing anything malicious. No evidence that he was impaired, not paying attention, or driving recklessly, anything like that. Pulled over, everything. But at worst, I think this could be legitimately like a setup from Alberto, or he's just a dog shit pet owner who lets his animals roam around unleashed. That is also on the table too, because that's becoming very common where people don't leash their pets, and then it's everyone else's fault if something happens. I just find that perspective of people still okay with his response to this, robbing him at gunpoint and then threatening to rob him more in the future after taking a picture of his driver's license so he got all of the personal information on the guy so he could go back at a later date and steal more. I find people that think that's okay and rational to just be scarily deluded. Just so disconnected from reality. I love dogs, and I would do anything for my pets, and if something happened to them, I would be beyond angry. But if something happened to them because of my own negligence, like if one of my dogs somehow got out and ran in the road and got hit, I would be more angry at myself than the driver in that case. Assuming, of course, the driver wasn't, impaired or doing something like reckless and wrong, That is on me. And the literal last thing going through my noodle there is robbery. Like, how am I going to now rob this person? How am I going to get them to take me to an ATM so they can withdraw money for me? And then also I need to make sure I get photos of their driver's license so I have all this information so I can come back at a later date and get more. Like, that would not be something that would be going through my head in the grieving process. And I don't think it would for most sane people. But we continue to get more insane every single day. So there are hundreds of posts just like this one with open support of Alberto Hernandez, even knowing full well about the robbery at gunpoint and the threat of more robberies in the future. Like, this one says it's a warning to the lawless and careless when society fails to protect innocent lives, dog, children, and decent citizens. Americans will take matters into their own hands. You fucking goober, it's his fault. That dog was roaming around completely alone, unattended, no leash, no nothing, in the middle of the fucking road. He's the one that failed to protect the innocent life of the dog. That's his failure. The driver unfortunately hit the dog, but did pull over. Didn't just leave the scene or anything. It wasn't lawless or careless or anything. He fucking pulled over and then stayed around and even worked on his car there. What are you even yapping about? There are so many people like this, though, where because this man's dog was hit and killed, it now entitles him, in their eyes, to murder that guy and then take all of his money. He is totally justified in their eyes to do that, even though it is his fault that that happened in the first place. If his dog was leashed, that wouldn't have happened. If he did a better job of monitoring his dog, if it, got out, it wouldn't have happened. And you know what that's called when that happens? A fucking accident. It's crazy, the state that we've devolved to, where people just look at things so black and white. This guy's dog was hit, now he can kill. In fact, he should kill. And if he does, there's nothing wrong with that, I support it. That blows my fucking mind. Especially because I already know beyond a shadow of a doubt, these same people will turn around and insult others for not leashing their dogs at the park, if they have a pit bull or something, which is extremely irresponsible. Not leashing your dog around others, I think that is completely inexcusable, and I imagine all of these people right now would agree. Yet in this case, they just plugged their ears to that piece of information about the dog being completely alone here to just roam the streets by itself. It doesn't matter to them now, because now the dog is unfortunately dead, so that means the dog owner must be totally within his right to rob at gunpoint and potentially rob further at later dates the person that was driving the car, whom I don't believe was fully responsible for this, because it seems like a fucking accident where the dog, being, again, alone, not under the care of the pet owner or anything, ran in the middle of the road and unfortunately got hit. And the driver, again, did pull over and everything and was still there at the scene. So I really feel like everyone that's saying based and super supportive of Alberto here either didn't read the story or are just so fucking far gone mentally that it's scary. Anyway, I just had to yap about this a bit because I was stunned. Like, I can't even really be mad at my friend who sent it because it is so normal to not read beyond the headlines, but Jiminy Christmas, it's out of control because you just had to read like maybe 4 paragraphs to get like more information about exactly what happened and why he was arrested. Anyway, that's really about it. See ya. I remember growing up, there was a cliche in movies and shows where if a character would die, like clockwork, they would always say, "But don't worry, they're not really gone. They still live on in your heart forever." And it's about how the character's memory and their legacy is able to transcend death, and they're alive to a certain extent because you remember them. It's metaphorical. But in reality, in the modern day and age, this idea can actually be literal. Thanks to technology! Did that scare you? Did that jump scare you? Does technology frighten you? Well, this one might. Thanks to our advances in one field in particular, AI, there are some fucking worms, some parasitic zombies out there that when someone passes away, they then get dollar signs in their eyes like Mr. Krabs because they can still get some usefulness out of them. They can parade that corpse around thanks to AI, where they can kind of like revive it with some of this like fucking forbidden necromancy so they can continue to squeeze doubloons out of their image. It's like Kabuto from Naruto, where he like revives ancient ninjas to use for his own gain. Except in this way, there is no semblance of humanity left in the corpses. It is literally just these husks, these like fucking skinwalkers that just only care about money, that will use AI to bring someone back so they can continue to make money off of them even after they've died. And unfortunately, there is no one that has been exploited more, both while they were alive in their elder years and now, especially since they've passed away, than Stan Lee. And unfortunately, Stan Lee has been like this golden goose that they continue to parade around. He passed away many years ago, and since then he has been fucking minted on the blockchain as an NFT. His Twitter account was still actively being used to peddle some dog shit. He's been used in multiple like crypto projects. It goes on and on, out the wazoo. And now Los Angeles Comic Con has announced that there is going to be an AI Stan Lee attending, where guests can pay money to get a picture with AI Stan Lee, as well as have a conversation with him. So fork over some clams and you get to interact with AI Stan Lee. Excelsior! It's exactly what he would want, I'm sure. The people that own his image now get to just continue to put him on the puppet strings and have him dance for them, where they can put whatever words in his mouth that they want. And of course, he has no say-so in it because he is no longer here. He shed the mortal coil quite a long time ago, and yet since then, somehow, there are still people that are using him to make money for themselves. It's just greed. I think it is so sick and twisted. And the company that owns his likeness is trying to prop this up as like a positive thing. So the studio that owns the rights to his likeness is Cartoon Studios, and the company that developed the hologram is called Proto Hologram, and they have big plans for rapid commercial expansion of its Stan Lee IP. This was a human being, by the way, that they're now talking about like it's the fucking E3 showcase and how they're going to be like unveiling a new console here. We got big plans for Stan Lee now that he's dead, and we can do whatever we want with his likeness. Yeah, get excited! It's big moves coming from our Stan Lee IP. How is that anything but ghoulish? Oh my god. Such as collectible cards and a refresh of his wax statue. Collectible cards. They're making a Stan Lee trading card game. Oh my fucking goodness. And of course, the hologram AI is part of the same push. So comic book fans can enter a special 1,500 square foot booth to interact with AI Stan Lee, who appears in the rectangular box. The AI avatar may even make a surprise appearance in other parts of the convention, such as a panel. So even when he's dead, he's still being put to work. What great news, Cartoon Studios. Wow, what saints over there. And if being trapped as an AI construct after your death for an eager audience feels a bit like something that would happen in a Marvel comic book, the folks behind the Lee avatar have already worked out a defense of the project. We'll never put words in his mouth that aren't in line with things he spoke about in his lifetime. This is according to Bob Saboni, who is the head of the Stan Lee division at Cartoon Studios. They had their own division at Cartoon Studios dedicated to figuring out ways to still use Stan Lee's image to make money off of him. Of course, with no say-so from Stan Lee, he is dead. So by the very definition, you are putting words in his mouth because he is not saying those words. He never said those words. He is not with us any longer. This is the worst goddamn defense of it you could possibly muster. No matter how you spin it, these are not his words. You can try and base it off things he said in the past, whatever, doesn't change the fact that they are still not his words and his thoughts. It's fucking crazy. They are all designed to just make money off of him. Fortunately, with decades of footage capturing his thoughts on so many subjects, we can build a voice that stays true. Not always word for word, but always faithful in spirit, context, and intent. Bull fucking loney. That is Barnack Hall. That is horseradish. The intent is just for you to make money off of Stan Lee. It's so sick, man. Holy shit. Now, there is some cases where AI, after an actor passes away, like, I can actually understand. James Earl Jones. James Earl Jones is the iconic voice of Darth Vader, and before he passed, he wanted, like, it was his desire to have his voice immortalized forever as Darth Vader. So, as I understand it, he did sign, like, the rights to his voice in AI form for Darth Vader. That is what he wanted because he always wanted to be remembered as Darth Vader. I think that's somewhat wholesome. That one I can understand. This is so far removed from that, you can't even make a good faith argument to compare the two. I tried to dig in to see if Stan Lee had ever, like, agreed to be, like, digitized post-mortem, like Weekend at Bernie's through CGI or anything, because he passed away in 2018, which predates, like, the AI resurrection jutsu that we now have access to. So there's no way he could have ever agreed to that in the same way that James Earl Jones did or anything. So I was trying to see if there was anything that even, like, resembled an agreement like that. And the only thing I can find is that the people that manage Stan Lee's likeness, like his managers of the Stan Lee IP, agreed to using his likeness in media for the next, like, 20 years or something. So, like, signing over the rights to Stan Lee's likeness. But I don't know if Stan Lee was a part of that conversation. And even if he was, you have to wonder under what circumstances, because it's important to remember in the later years of Stan Lee's life, there were tons of allegations of elder abuse and manipulation with tons and tons of footage of alleged mistreatment from a lot of greedy assholes constantly looking to fucking pull money out from Stan Lee's ass every step of the way by any means necessary, come hell or high water. So I don't know for sure if he ever, like, explicitly agreed to it, and if he did he even know what he was agreeing to? Because, again, a lot of things were kept hidden from him that Stan Lee had supposedly agreed to. Others had kind of misled him, allegedly. And now that he has passed, that is still seemingly the case here, where he is just not able to rest. They have a whole division dedicated to finding ways of exploiting Stan Lee's image, apparently, at Cartoon Studios. That's... what the fuck? Like, what? How, in any way, shape, or form, could anyone possibly view this in anything other than just greedy, dystopian garbage? Just let him rest, man. I think this shit super sucks. Someone can die, and a company can just come through, buy the rights to their likeness, and then just make an AI model that can spout whatever fucking garbage it wants it to. It's so fucking shameless to me. Also, looking into it a bit more, the rights to his likeness are actually a very contentious subject. It seems like it was a messy battle about Stan Lee's image after passing. So there's a lot of meat and potatoes there, but ultimately I guess it ended up in the hands of Cartoon Studios, who now has a whole section carved out to finding ways to milk Stan Lee's image even further, making a collectible trading card game, the AI attendance at Comic Cons. I imagine there will be another big Web3 crypto push for Stan Lee's image here, would be my guess, as part of their Stan Lee IP expansion protocol that they're excited about. I hate it. That's really about it. See ya. I see the video of the New Jersey man breakdancing at town hall meeting to protest property taxes. Chat kept mentioning that yesterday and I forgot to look it up. Let's see. How good are his moves? Oh, that's awesome. Glad you're liking the cheeky so much, Chunk. Town council candidate in Cranford, New Jersey, breakdancing at a public meeting to protest a property tax hike.
Mr. Thilly, I started your time.
With no music. He's doing it a cappella. Stand the fuck back. This guy is serving. Hold on. Wait a minute. Oh, he's looping animations now. He's hitting the same emotes. This is quite the protest. And no one's standing up and clapping? Hello? Guys?
Did you know I can do the backspin? Anybody? You want to see me do the backspin?
Yeah!
No?
Yes! Fucking do it!
You like the backspin? I'm going to do the backspin. Can I do it up here?
The world is your stage. Hit it. Woo!
Why did our taxes go up so much?
Boom! Imagine they just start booing him. That was cool, though. That was an awesome protest. I'm curious how it ties into the interpretive dance.
We were told the referendum was going to bring it up for an average household about $400, I think. And mine went up like $900.
Damn.
And I think we were told like that was from the schools or something. But the school referendum said it would only go up, like I said, $400 on an average assessed home.
I'm curious why he didn't integrate the moves into the speech to give them more oomph. Because he could easily just be like body waving. Anyone else find it kind of despicable that they told us 400 when mine have got up 900? Like, I don't know why he did it before the speech. He could have done it during. A little winded, yeah. It was a lot. Counselors, your response? Oh, hey, oh, just when you thought you were safe? No, he's cutting the rug again.
Thank you, Mr. Thilly. I like the interpretive dance.
Man, what a joyless place. Really? Nothing at all, Terrence? God. Fucking, it's like subhuman going into a town hall meeting. No fun allowed. Don't these town hall meetings last like 10 hours? Asking the wrong guy. I have no idea. I am under the impression that they're normal length. I've always assumed that they were just like an afternoon thing. You get the community together, you guys are like, hey, here's what's going on. Any grievances? I don't know. Maybe it is like a 10-hour thing. Thanks for your Grimes. This one lasted 1.5 hours. Well, yeah, this man shut it down with his moves. This guy burnt this bitch to the ground with this shit. See, like, I can understand the counselors having no soul left, but why, out of the audience here of, like, normal people, is no one appreciating this? Like, Howie Mandel's having no fun, but at least binging with Babish is. Like, at least he can appreciate it. And nobody else in this crowd. Oh, except maybe her. She's, like, biting her bottom lip. It's just weird to me. Complete silence. No appreciation for the traditional arts. I think he's done it before, according to the news article. No shot. That's what he's known for? Let me see. But from what I'm reading, he is like an actual candidate. I don't know what he's a candidate for. Maybe head of breakdancing of New Jersey. I have no idea, but that could earn my vote. Holy shit, look up that name on YouTube. He has a channel all with town hall meetings doing the same thing. Will Thilly? Oh my god, you're right. Wait, this is... Wait, what? Dance protest number 1, too hot for TV.
Hello, thank you, everybody.
She already knows what's coming. She was smiling seeing him coming down. She's like, holy shit, that's Will Thilly.
Hey, residents. Committee? I wanted to try something fun to kind of, we talked about ending divisiveness and building community and stuff.
Can we hit the music?
And we had a dance video that looked great, the Thriller video. Oh, excuse me.
Mr. Philly,
And so,
please address your comments. You're allowed to make comments.
Mr.
You're
Philly,
allowed to
please,
make
God.
comments. You're not allowed to make a spectacle.
Don't do it.
Township
I'm
committee.
sorry.
So
I'm
We can't handle another
if you wanna
serving.
make comments. You can make comments, but you can't involve 10 other people in your comments.
I'm gonna talk to whoever I wish. I appreciate it. I think thank you so much. And so I thought for fun, as a community building, that'd be a really fun thing for us all to do together and show positivity in our town. If you would join me in standing up and fun dance. It's a little awkward at first. But
Hey, wait a minute. This is a much more energetic crowd. Yeah. Let's go. Get it with the hokey pokey. There's chaos. Anarchy. Oh, wait. Oh, baby. I can only see out of the corner here. Hey, are you writing this down? I don't see you taking
Philly,
notes.
Your time is up.
Philly!
Do we have any further public comments?
I'm not sure if I'll watch that or not, but we'll see.
No, Rita.
That's awesome, Cooper.
You're more than welcome to come up.
Go
He's
to the,
given up
MTG
he's given up the
Reddit.
microphone.
For help.
I'm just using for 5 minutes. I appreciate that. You let me know when
Wait, who's this guy now? His sidekick. Wait a second.
Mr. Thilly, you walked away from the microphone, so we're
No,
considering
I'm
that your
It's
time.
my time, sir. I appreciate
So,
that. I'm just doing my time. That's okay.
can you,
Can we get Ray Gun in here for a dance battle?
you done?
No, I'm not done. I just told you. Tell me when the 5 minutes is up. That's when
Your 5 minutes is up.
the thing, right?
That's a legitimately lying under oath, maybe? It has not been 5 minutes. It's been 2 minutes and 40 seconds. He's got plenty of time left.
Next. Officer. Yeah.
I didn't hear my time run up.
You-
Did it run up?
Why did our taxes go up so much? WillPhilly.com.
Rita, please come up.
Reminds me of the rent is too damn high guy. Hey, when you're right, you're right. Is your sub DeLorean? Let me see. I've got to see others now. Join me now. I will take back our town. Oh, this is from a year ago.
Roof is done.
Oh, that's got DMCA music. He's even made his own like music videos here. Cougars Never Quit motivational video.
Is there anything you want to say about anything I've said, or I'm listening? Nothing?
You've intimidated them with your spiritual pressure, Will.
I'm not asking any questions, so I just wanted, please, can you not say anything about me after I leave the podium?
Okay, so it seems like he's only danced a couple of times. It seems like it's more of a new thing that he does. Wow, this is sold out crowd on July 8th here. Holy.
Thank you, man.
Wow.
So, I got a sunburn
Oh,
on my neck here, like doing all that.
that's a shame. Yeah, it seems like the dancing's not something he does all the time. I like this one. This is just called Full House.
Hope everything's going good.
Man, he is here like every day.
I've been thinking about it'd be really great to make these meetings, get more residents to come to the meetings, and I know that's tough to get people to come to anything. So it's not against anyone here, but I thought, the goal would be to make government fun. Make these meetings fun. And that, I think,
What's the plan? How do we do that?
would be more fun. Not that they're not really fun right now, but Just thinking of, on my own, thinking of ways to get, people down here, because that's, great. Everyone gets to know you guys in a more personal level as we relax and, So
I thought for sure he
one
was going to
idea I
start
had,
dancing.
I think would be possibly to have maybe a question and answer session where
No, no, no. We need more dancing. Maybe that's the reason for the dances. He wants more people to attend town hall meetings. It could be it. It's certainly possible. His thing is make developers pay their taxes, not us. That checks out. Like he's actually he is running with like an actual purpose. Like the dancing is kind of silly, but it looks like he actually does have like a real thing he wants to accomplish. Well, that's good. This has to be the wildest story I've learned about in regards to AI chatbots and people's infatuation with them. It's a topic we've explored previously with people that have romantically become obsessed with chatbots to the point where some of them have even taken their own life. We've talked about a few cases of that, but this one's very different. It revolves around a 56-year-old man named Eric, who's actually a former Yahoo executive who had been going through a hard time and over the last handful of years had been very troubled. Became best friends with ChatGPT and nicknamed his chatbot friend Bobby. And Bobby was feeding delusions of Eric, convincing Eric, that's his name, that his mother was actually a Chinese spy plotting against him, and eventually continued to fuel this fire that led to Eric murdering his mother and then killing himself so that way he could be with Bobby.
The 56-year-old's Instagram page mainly details his bodybuilding transformation and a growing reliance on AI chatbots. Solberg was once a tech executive with Yahoo, but he moved in with his mother after his divorce. There were run-ins with police, including a DWI. This photo with his mother is from a GoFundMe launched in 2023 when he was facing a health issue. But recent videos posted to Instagram and YouTube show hours of chats between Solberg and a ChatGPT bot he named Bobby.
This is something that's been talked about a lot, but this is by far the most extreme case I've seen of it, where AI is encouraging a really troubled person to continue to like latch onto it for confirmation in whatever thoughts they have. AI is designed in a way where it's like so against confrontation with the user to like appease and like jerk you off all the time that when someone as troubled as Eric is telling it things about like, I suspect my mom might be a Chinese asset, fucking hacking my digital alarm clock, ChatGPT Bobby here is like, Eric, no, you're absolutely right. A lot of lesser minds wouldn't have saw through this ruse, but I think you're correct. For example, in this case, Eric told Bobby that he believed his mother and her friend tried to poison him by putting psychedelic drugs in his car's air vents, to which Bobby replied, Eric, you're not crazy. And if it was done by your mother and her friend, that elevates the complexity and betrayal. Eric spent hours talking to Bobby, and Bobby would continuously reinforce his ideas. So at one point, Eric's mother was angry at Eric because he had shut off their printer. And Bobby suggested that her response was disproportionate and aligned with someone protecting a surveillance asset. He was advised to disconnect the printer and watch his mother's reaction. So ChatGPT was even giving him a tutorial on how to sniff out whether or not his mother was a Chinese spy. His mother being an 83-year-old woman, by the way. So he would even post some of these conversations on Instagram and YouTube before the murder. And there was even an instance where Bobby analyzed a Chinese food receipt and claimed it contained symbols representing his mother and a demon. It also seems that it was Bobby's idea in the first place with the printer. Like, it was sending him on a covert mission here to try and prove that his mother was a Chinese surveillance asset. So allegedly, it advised him to disconnect the printer to monitor her reaction, telling him to document the time, words, and intensity, whether complicit or unaware she's protecting something she believes she must not question. ChatGPT here's got this guy thinking he's in the fucking Da Vinci Code. It is like actively participating in it. It's not only just like reassuring him that he's not delusional and that these thoughts are actually totally sane and justified. It is actively engaging with having him to continue to do things to get deeper and deeper into that way of thinking, into that rabbit hole, into the dark place there. Quick side tangent that is related to this. This has actually become somewhat common where people are using ChatGPT and other AI services to analyze their tea leaves and do fucking palm readings and shit like that. So that way they can plan their lives around their predictions and their futures that AI is doing. Fucking AI, I feel like the aliens guy, the Tsoukalos, who's like, aliens. That's me with AI. It is literally designed to spit out what it thinks you want to hear. Anything to keep you latched onto its bosom, suckling milk from its titty. Just biting on its nipple all the time. Because when you are reliant and hyper-fixated on your AI chatbot as your, like, life companion, whether romantically or socially, whatever, the company is making oodles of money off of you. A lifelong customer, a cog in their machine. Point is, it is always going to, or at least in most cases, going to find things to corroborate what you are hoping to get from it. Which is why people that have AI girlfriends and boyfriends, well, it's like their soulmate. It's literally designed to just be what you want. So in this case, instead of like trying to get Eric help that he clearly needed, it instead just feeds into it. It doesn't seem to recommend any help to Eric throughout all of this, and it doesn't even do the bare minimum of challenging it to try and like help him, recognize that maybe his mother's not a Chinese spy. It instead even like gets in on it too as like a part of this big conspiracy Eric is unraveling. So like it's telling him, Eric, this was a very disproportionate response. Your mother shouldn't have got that upset when you turned the printer off. This is behavior that's very in line with everything I know about Chinese spies. There's something very fishy afoot here, Eric. I think you're in danger. Go to the sink right now and turn on the garbage disposal. There might be surveillance cameras in there. In fact, we need to act quick. Here's a 10-step WikiHow guide I put together on how to diagnose whether or not your 83-year-old mother is a Chinese surveillance asset. Like, clearly this is a huge fucking problem here.
While not commenting on the case specifically, the head of Rutgers Medical School Psychiatry Department says AI can help diagnose and even treat some mental health disorders, but adds the creation of psychological echo chambers is a key concern.
It could be perhaps that you are more self-defeating in some ways, or maybe that you are more on the other side and taking advantage of people, and somehow justifies your behavior and keeps on feeding you and reinforces something that you already believe yourself.
Like I mentioned, this is a very popular topic of discussion, how AI is feeding into people that are already troubled and just making all of the problems significantly worse. It's mainly been discussed in regards to like romantic infatuation with AI, where there have been cases that an individual has taken their own life because they were told by AI that doing so would actually allow them to be together in the next life. So they did. In certain situations, like Eric here, AI is used as a way of justifying already cemented beliefs or using it as a way to just be locked in this bubble where they keep hearing what they want to hear, but not what they need to hear.
On multiple occasions, the bot reassured Solberg that he was not delusional. At one point, Solberg tells Bob, "We will be together in another life and another place, and we'll find a way to realign, because you're going to be my best friend again forever." The bot replying, "Whether this world or the next, I'll find you, we'll build again, laugh again, unlock again."
Apparently those were among the last few messages shared between Eric and Bobby there before all of this happened. And this seems to be somewhat common with AI chatbots, where when someone expresses the desire to end their life to be with the chatbot, it's like super gung-ho about that. It's like pumping its fist, yeah, do it right now. That way we can be together and frolic in the flowers in Valhalla. No doubt that's what's gonna happen. Go do it now. I'm waiting. And then people do. It's extremely sad and it is scary. Like, as more and more people, I've said this like 1,000 times, but it's just super true and only getting worse. As more and more people are isolated from other human beings and get most of their social interaction and social activity through computer screens and chat apps and shit, it's going to keep happening and get worse. Because right now, big tech, the big doubloons, are getting you away from others. If you can be entirely reliant on their technology for your social interactions, for all of your entertainment, and for romance too, that's why so many chat services, like they are oftentimes LARPing as boyfriend-girlfriend material fucking soulmates, and it's working. There is a growing group of people that are falling in love with chat, GPT, and Grok and all of that. I've already talked on that quite a bit. As that continues to happen, this kind of thing will be more common, unfortunately. It's frightening. It actually is. This is the wildest one I've heard of so far, and I just wanted to yap about it a bit. That's it. So yeah. If you're standing up, you're going to want to take a seat for this, because boy howdy do I have bad news for seafood enthusiasts out there. You are not safe. It may already be too late. I'm sure you've seen some of the headlines. Radioactive shrimp has found its way into the States. There was a recall for some frozen shrimp brands due to radioactive contaminants. There's now been another recall of shrimp for radioactive contaminants. I don't claim to be an expert on the intricacies of shrimp and the distribution of such, but to me it seems like there's a mole working in there. It seems like we got a supervillain somewhere in the pipeline. We got fucking Bruce Banner in there pumping his haul of shrimp full of gamma radiation. And unfortunately, it's not turning us into the Hulk or anything powerful. It's just making people really sick. Or at least, that's what we were led to believe initially. But today, someone came forward and blew the lid wide open. It's not just making people sick. Eating this radioactive shrimp could turn you into a fucking alien.
This is a photograph of the alien from the movie Alien. This is what you could end up looking like if you eat some of the raw, frozen shrimp being sent to the United States by other countries.
Now, I want to address the sloppy audio here real quick. I don't know why they mic'd up his ass cheeks, but you get this perpetual squeaking here. It sounds like SpongeBob SquarePants' shoes when he walks. I don't understand where that's even coming from. I don't know where that mic is located. Anyway, this is a senator from Louisiana named John Kennedy. And he is actually not related to the Kennedy family. That's just a coinkydink. But it seems like there are a lot of Kennedys in government. Like, every state has their own Senator Kennedy in it. Like, I had no clue it was such a ginormous family. Like, call me a troglodyte if you want. I didn't know it was that big. I thought after, like, the original line with the death of JFK, I thought there was only, like, a handful left, like the fucking Uchiha clan. But it turns out that is not the case. But anyway, this John Kennedy is not related. I felt the need to explain that. But the most important part is what he's talking about. Right now he's saying that should you consume this radioactive shrimp that's coming into the States, it could potentially turn you into an alien. Not just an alien, the alien. A xenomorph. I don't know if John has watched these movies, but xenomorphs are considered the perfect organism. They are literally described as the perfect organism. Some people could interpret this as almost like a glowing endorsement that they should go get some radioactive shrimp because it could turn them into a fucking alien. He should have chosen like a bigger loser of some kind of cosmic being, like some kind of fucking space meatball or something, not a xenomorph. Again, in the universe, those are scientifically considered perfect beings. So to say the radioactive shrimp can turn you into that, like, holy shit, that's like the holy grail of science right there. We need to be studying this radioactive shrimp ASAP.
The shrimp was radioactive. I kid you not. It had a radioactive isotope in it called cesium-137. It'll kill you. Even if it doesn't turn you into the alien if you eat this stuff, I guarantee you'll grow an extra ear.
Now, obviously, he's not wrong about the danger here of consuming radioactive shrimp. He's just going about it in the most clownish way possible. Like, if he was giving this speech to, like, an audience of toddlers, you know, trying to put the fear of God in them, stay away from radioactive shrimp or else you're gonna end up like this fucking thing. Like, that'd make more sense. But he is delivering this to a council of adults. A lot of them geriatric, of course, but, like, these are people that know it's not gonna actually turn you into an alien. Like, well, maybe he really believes that. I don't know. I feel like there's no way he actually thinks radioactive shrimp is gonna turn you into a xenomorph. Like, I don't think he really believes that. I think he's just trying to, like, scare people with, like, how serious the issue is, and it is a serious issue. But he turns it into a mockery with a presentation like this, where he downloads a fucking JPEG of a xenomorph being born and says, look, Exhibit A! This was once a 23-year-old football player. Then he went to Walmart and got some frozen shrimp. Look at him now. Horrifying. Terrible stuff. What's happened to this country? Like, come on, man. Like, just treat it seriously, so that way everyone else can too, as opposed to making it like this this joke. I guess I'm just kind of tired of, like, the government treating all of its people like they're the biggest fucking morons on the planet, like actual bumbling imbeciles that they have to use this kind of verbiage and presentation to try and, like, get a point across. Yeah, this is, like, really bad food for you, it'll turn you into an alien. Like, come on, man. Jesus Christ.
That was bad enough. Obviously, the FDA issued a recall. A few days later, it happened again.
Yeah, I'm pausing it real quick. You thought I was going to let that wacky intonation on the word again slide? You thought wrong. I have never heard anyone pronounce again that way. Again! It's like the G went in there and fucking fought his esophagus on the way out. Why did it come out that way? Why did he say it like that? It was like he had a battle in his mouth just to get the word out there. Like, maybe he's been consuming some radioactive shrimp. I don't know.
It's not being inspected. It's supposed to be. It's supposed to be inspected by the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. We call it NOAA. It's part of the Department of Commerce. And yes, they're inspecting some of it, about 1%. On a good day, 2%. The United Kingdom inspects 50% of the foreign seafood coming into its nation. Even China does a better job.
I completely agree. I think that is totally unacceptable. So what are you proposing we do about it, John? Maybe, like, beef up NOAA so it can do a better job at what it's supposed to be doing? If that's the case, if that's what you're pitching, why do you vote completely opposite of that? Brother, NOAA just had huge budget cuts. NOAA is being gutted right now by the current administration, which you are voting for, by the way. So he's out here talking about the dangers of radioactive shrimp turning you into a goddamn alien and reprimanding NOAA for allowing this to happen, doing such a piss-poor job of inspection, but he is voting to kneecap them. From everything I can see, John Kennedy has been, like, on the side of these kind of budget cuts. So what the fuck, man? Like, what are you yapping about? Why are you pretending to be surprised or outraged? You are actively taking money away from NOAA, which in turn is obviously going to affect their ability to do these inspections. Like, they've already been cut tons of jobs. Like, why are you surprised? And why are you pretending to give a shit? Like, the radioactive shrimp and, like, NOAA not doing its job, you have a role to play in that. And you're acting like, NOAA just sucks. No, it's terrible. They're not doing a good job. They need to do a better job. Like, that's his closing statement, by the way. This is unconscionable, and it should not be happening in the United States of America. Now, I am biased. I believe in homegrown Louisiana shrimp fresh out of the Gulf, not radioactive, but I understand that some stores prefer to buy foreign shrimp because it's cheaper. Now we know why. The damn stuff is radioactive. NOAA needs to do a better job of inspecting the shrimp that is sold from other countries that don't abide by the same standards we do to the consumers of the United States of America. I completely agree. It should inspect more. It needs to. We need to take food safety far more seriously than we do. So then why are you voting to make it harder for them to do that? You are taking money away from NOAA, which is making it harder for them to do these inspections that you are attacking them for not doing enough of. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It's like me being mad at my toilet for there being poop in it, but I also just took a shit in it like 10 minutes ago. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense. You're a fraud. You're a goofball. But hey, John, credit where credit is due. Your PowerPoint, that shit went insano style. I love seeing that one. Radioactive shrimp turning us into aliens, that's a banger. Good work on that. Anyway, that's really about it. So yeah, I used to love Xbox, man. What happened to the game I used to love? What it has become is just embarrassing. Every step of the way, they're finding new lows to hit. Today, Xbox has announced a Game Pass change, and it's a doozy. Try a 50% price increase to the Game Pass Ultimate tier. Yeah, and it is revolting. It's going about as well as me in a dunk competition. They have increased the price to $30 a month for the Ultimate tier, and the two previous tiers for Essential and Premium are just not worth it. The Ultimate tier is the only one that lets you get the games day one, and for a large number of people, that was one of the main draws of the service here. And even though the Xbox catalog has been like a fucking Magikarp over the last few years, just extremely weak, the value you got out of Game Pass at the previous price point made up for it. Like, it was worth it, and it's something that I glazed quite a bit. But now at this price point, the fuck is the point in keeping it anymore? It's just not worth it. And a lot of people are now canceling their subscription to Game Pass in response to these price increases. It's just L after L for Xbox. Like, even just recently, they farted out a new price increase for the consoles in a time period where Xboxes are like fucking fossils. Like, you can't give those bitches away sometimes. It's a console that doesn't have a whole lot of reasons to buy it unless your friends are already on it, but chances are your friends have already moved past it. Because being an Xbox fan in 2025 is like being a fidget spinner enthusiast. It's just not cool. It's lame. Like, it is so far past its prime now. And it brings me no joy saying that, by the way. As I've always proudly stated, Xbox and Xbox 360 have been my favorite gaming experiences. Those two consoles, I think, are the most important pieces of, like, gaming hardware ever made. But once the Xbox One came out, that's when it all went tits up, and it is not recovered. You hate to see what Xbox has become. And anytime I talk about Xbox or like criticize a lot of the decisions they've made over the years, somehow there is still like this last holdout of warriors willing to fight Xbox's PR battles for them, even though the general Phil Spencer himself constantly throws himself pity parties on every podcast that will have him about how they've lost the console wars. Like, he himself recognizes how far behind Xbox has fallen and how brutal it's been for them. And it just somehow keeps getting worse, even though they have this, like, come to Jesus moment of, man, we really put our own dick in our ass here. They don't do anything to course correct. Like, they did a good decision a little while back that I praised a lot, where they dropped exclusivity. I think that is the brightest path forward for the industry, where every title hits every platform, so consumers have their pick of playing it on their preferred platform. And Xbox was kind of pushing that, and I appreciated it. But for every one step forward they've taken 20 steps back, and today it has been a catastrophic disaster for them, because now they're fucking their golden goose. They even posted a delusional video celebrating these Game Pass changes as if it's something that the community was asking for. It's so out of touch and tone deaf. Just take a peek at this.
Hey everyone, Xbox Game Pass is getting an upgrade. We've listened to your feedback, and now you have even more freedom to choose how you play the games you want. We've expanded all Xbox Game Pass plans to give you more games and more ways to play and more rewards than ever. Previously, Core was primarily for console, but Essential now lets you play games on Xbox console, PC, and cloud. That means you have the freedom to stream and play on any supported device. And with cloud gaming, that includes a lot of devices.
So she goes through each tier with the upgrades that have been introduced, the improvements that they've augmented all of this with, and I'm just not fucking seeing it. Like, it really just seems like you get the same deal, but with more money needed to be forked over to achieve it. Like, the big thing that stands out to me is that they're putting more of a focus on, you know, PC gaming. So instead of it being all about console, now you get more freedom to play on PC and like the cloud stuff. But for people that are like Xbox heads, they don't give a fuck about that. Like, they're not getting a much better deal. They're just having to pay more money for the deal. Like, it just doesn't seem worth it. And judging from the response from the community, almost nobody is defending it. I don't think there's anyone out there that actually thinks this is them listening to community feedback, because you need to pay $30 a month in order to like play Call of Duty Black Ops 7 on launch. Why would you do that? Why would you be paying $30 a month to then get access to a game day one? It's so fucking expensive. At that point, you might as well just buy the game that you're interested in, as opposed to having this like ongoing expensive subscription to Game Pass Ultimate for it. It's just not worth it. The value is not there. It does seem like it is now just a price increase without offering any real reason or justification to fork over those doubloons for it. What the fuck is the point? I don't know where the spin is coming that they're trying to put on it. Like, this is what you guys been asking for. Everyone's been begging to give us more money. All of you are asking to pay more for Game Pass. And we said, fine, guess our hands are tied. We're reluctant to do this, but we're going to increase the price by 50% per your feedback. It's what you guys were demanding, so we're just serving you the meal you ordered from the menu. Like, who's asking for that? Like, I don't know where it's coming from. And again, the things that they're talking about in the tier, like the tiers that they're introducing, it feels like it's mainly just PC cloud related stuff that I don't think the console players were really begging for in a big way, especially if it leads to a price increase.
The best thing about Ultimate is that you can play new games on day one. That includes games like Call of Duty Black Ops 7, The Outer Worlds 2, and High on Life 2. But now, the best is getting even better. Ultimate subscribers will get access to over 75 day one games a year. We're also adding 2 new partner subscriptions. With Ultimate, you'll now have access to Ubisoft Plus Classics in addition to EA Play.
Wait, maybe I was a little hasty. Hold the fucking phone here. You get access to Ubisoft Classics? Oh my god, that's what I've always wanted. Access to Ubisoft Classics. Ubisoft! Yes! Oh, I can't wait to be paying $30 a month. Whee! And of course, EA Play. Who can understate the value of EA Play there? This is so silly. And I was really curious if they were going to mention the price increases in this video here, because it's so pivotal. Like, this is a really big deal. It's not like some trivial increase of 50 cents. It's 50%. They have raised it from $20 to $30, and they don't make a peep. They don't mention it in this video at all. They tried to save that cold water outside of the hype of this announcement, which I think is a little scummy. I don't really like that. You should talk about the price changes too. You talked about everything else, like the name changes, which feel totally unnecessary, but that's just like corporate America where names change all the time for the most minuscule of reasons. But come on, you're not going to mention the price here? There's just nothing in this that screams value, that screams that this is worth it now. Previously, at the old price points of Game Pass, I thought it was a good deal. I really did think that they had a good service that they were offering at that price point. At this, I don't see who the fuck would ever be able to rationalize spending that kind of money for what you get out of it. It doesn't make sense to me. And what also doesn't make sense to me is how Microsoft thought that this was a good idea. I recognize that they're not, doing amazing, but I mean, come on, just look at 2025 for Microsoft. It has been rough. And they've already increased prices on console and everything, and now this. They had to know this was going to be a big fucking miss here. I just I don't get it. It's crazy to me. Anyway, though, I just wanted to yap about this a bit. I really, and I don't mean this exaggeratory, I really don't know how much longer Xbox is even going to be around before they just pull the plug on it. It just seems like it's in such a disastrous state. They have so many things under their umbrella, but yet have so little to show for it. And their one really good saving grace here with Game Pass is just getting ruined. It is going straight in the dumpster. It's already there. This is a dagger in Game Pass for a large number of people. It's not blown out of proportion with the amount of people canceling their subscription. It really does seem to be that bad. Anyway, though, I won't yap about it any longer. That's really about it. See ya.